Hi there, welcome to Preparing for Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Eve Mapanda. I didn't release anything last week. I was unwell. I came down with a flu and just had quite a bit of time to just rest and make sure that I was recovering well. So it was all about my well being. So I kind of took a step back from doing things. But then again, at the back of that is coming back to work and catching up with work. And so, yes, it's been quite busy last few days for me. But I thought I need to put this out there. And I saw a post, one of my friends, she's a therapist, and she was talking about how she has struggled with eating disorder. And for me, that post was so authentic and so vulnerable that I wish more people, especially people in helping professions, which is what I am in, where we are able to actually talk about what it is that we are experiencing. And I think a lot of the times being in this helping profession, people actually think that we don't experience things, we don't go through things. And I think just thinking about my own experiences, and I've spoken openly about my mental health struggles and the past trauma that I've experienced, and growing up into like my teenagehood and then going on to adulthood. And the thing about, I've experienced therapy, I've done it, I still go back to do it because I feel sometimes I do get triggered. Sometimes I do get into a slumber where I start feeling low, and I struggle with my mental health from time to time. And so even at the beginning of the year, it's been quite difficult. And it came to a point where I even struggled to pray. And I thank God for my circle of faith sisters who just encouraged me and they just walked with me. But it's almost as though sometimes, because people are so used to you helping people and they see you in that role, that they can often forget that actually people who help people actually need help themselves. And so the other thing that I thought about is, for us helpers, sometimes because we are in that helping role so much, that we actually forget to ask for help. We are seen as strong, independent, and so that then becomes, people don't offer the help, or people feel like you're okay when you're not. And so it's been a journey for me this past few weeks, and I think it's just about taking it a day at a time. And I know that I just want to encourage someone, like, I know that the situations that you will be going through, and sometimes people don't see it, or probably they don't understand it. And sometimes it's sort of, you don't see a way out. And the thing that I have come to learn is there's going to be seasons that you will go through that are going to challenge you. And in those seasons, you're going to struggle. But everybody's different. And it's about finding that thing that you can do that is aligned to who you are, that is something that is realistic to you. Because I think the other thing is, we see all this self help and do this, do that, all these theories, but do they apply to you? So it's finding out what works for you. And for me, what I have found is, in kind of this moment, I have encouraged myself to go to the gym. I know sometimes people say, oh, but sometimes when you're in that state, that You don't feel like going to the gym. You don't feel like doing it. I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't feel like getting up in the morning. I didn't feel like talking to anyone, but I had to. I had to for myself. I had to get up. I had to force myself to get up for my own well-being, nobody else but me. So I had to think about myself and what was good for me. And so I just started with just one day. I went to the gym one day and I didn't even do much. It was just the action of just being there. And that encouraged me to then take the next step the next day and go the next day. The next day I did a bit more, but it wasn't as much as I would usually do, but I was there. It was the action. And then the day after that, I was doing more and more. And so I started to feel good inside. I started to want to get out more. And so when you're walking in purpose, it's so important to know that there are going to be seasons where it's going to be extremely difficult, especially if there is a calling upon your life that God has called you to. Like the assignment is so big that sometimes you just don't understand how you're going to do it. Just bear in mind that it is going to be difficult. So prepare yourself. And if you're already in the midst of things where you're experiencing challenges, you feel isolated, you feel you don't have the support, it's okay to tell people that you're actually struggling. But more importantly, it's important for you to find out, how can I move from this part that I don't want to be in to the next part? Like just that first step, how can I do that? Because I think one of the mistakes that people often make is they look at, how can I get from step 1 to step 10? When sometimes it's just as what I've just said. Like for me, it was just the action to just go to the gym, not doing anything, that led me to start getting out there, getting better, coming back to my old self. So yes, nobody said this walking in purpose was going to be easy. And we're here to do something. Each and every one of us has a reason why they're here. And there's going to be things in life that are going to stop that from happening. But what we need to make sure is that we continuously pray. We continuously look for the power and the courage and pray about it. Ask the Lord to help us through this journey, because it's not easy. It's not easy to get up every single day, but it's about tapping into that assignment of why you are here and what you're here to do, and allowing God to use you in a way that you yourself cannot comprehend. So every day you wake up, remind yourself that you have a purpose. There's a reason you're here. And let that be the motivation that keeps you going day to day. Have a great day.